Welcome to Pompey Talk in partnership with Giant Leap. I'm your host Jordan Cross, and here to discuss the 1-0 win at Cambridge United at the weekend is Chief Sports Writer Neil Allen. Neil,
Hello.
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 Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It wasn't pretty, but it was pretty much what was needed at the weekend at the Abbey Stadium.
Effective, but it was what was encouraging. Not only the victory, but the manner. Pompey showed grit, resilience, determination in defence, and for so long the defence has been brittle, isn't it, this season? But Saturday, didn't they defend exceptionally well?
Yeah.
Not only Burgess on his own, but as a team, it was superb.
Yeah, and as I think actually Christian Burgess picked up on today's Backpage Lead, an ideal reply, a riposte, I guess, to some of the criticism, which has, to be fair, been justified.
It's completely warranted, the criticism. We've seen some awful, shoddy Sunday League goals, haven't we, really,
Sunday
this
League.
season? Some atrocious goals, individual errors, and it's been infuriating, it really has. But Saturday, considering they also had to play the final 29 minutes with 10 men, it was exceptional, the defending. Burgess won everything in the air, bodies thrown. David Ford didn't have to save to make.
No.
Purely because of the people in front of him and how well they did, keeping at arm's length a Cambridge side that admittedly weren't a particularly good Cambridge side.
No.
But Pompey had the disadvantage of 10 players, but you never could have told that.
And Christian Burgess, I think quite rightly your man in the match, has been levelled at Christian that he undoubtedly talented, that he can kind of stroll through games, but sometimes there's a lapse in concentration, so it's quite heartening because it was, although you probably say there weren't world-class deliveries from Cambridge, but his head was on absolutely everything.
Yeah, let's face it, during his time at Pompey, he's been Pompey's best defender. He's been Cook's first choice as well, but his occasional lapses of sloppiness, isn't it? And that's in his makeup, isn't it? Unfortunately, but otherwise he is a very good defender at this level, highly regarded by the clubs, and Pompey just needs to get that more out of him because the talent's there. Without doubt, the talent's there, and Saturday we saw it.
Yeah, and you're probably not going to get a tougher afternoon than against the Cambridge striker. What was his name again?
Uchi.
Uchi, what was it?
I have no idea. Uchi. He was a beast, wasn't he?
Uchi Ikpeazu was the one, I think.
Yeah, he was a beast, he was. And they handled him very, very well, didn't they? And he was still Cambridge's most effective player, their best player. Yeah. But they handled him exceptionally well, didn't they?
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he had some maverick skills. I think a couple of times he was kind of pulling the ball out of the sky and doing 3 or 4 keep-ups on his thigh. And I think kind of Christian bore the sort of war wounds afterwards. There's a scratch around his neck.
Yeah, he did. Was that from him, was it?
Yeah, so I mean, he really was kind of up against it. But I mean, again, physical questions have been levelled at Burgess in the past, and you're not going to get a tougher afternoon to work than that.
It wasn't a particularly good all-round performance from Pompey. They barely created anything. Cambridge created nothing. They weren't fluent. They didn't kick the ball. They didn't attack well enough. However, defensively, and bearing in mind the 10-men situation, they were magnificent. They ground out a victory. It was gritty, it was determined, and Pompey have lacked that. It's all very well beating sides 4-0 at Fratton Park occasionally, but they've really lacked the grit. But they had that Saturday, and that's been missing. So thankfully, hopefully, they can move on from that and just demonstrate that more, because Pompey have had a weak underbelly for too long, and these could be the first signs that they're over that now and they're moving on.
Connor Chaplin was on target with his 5th goal this season. We've had a few comments from readers of the news at portsmouth.co.uk just on the subject of Connor. Chaplin is old enough, fit enough and good enough to play every game now, and there is no excuse for not playing him or taking him off in every game, says ex-gaffer. He has a brilliant footballing brain. The way he reads the game, anticipates and gambles are excellent. Lots of footballers in League 1 and 2 that have the skill but not the brain. I loved watching him play. That was onion-tastic. And one for the old boys by kick by Kellard. Some may remember Terry Brisley, who at 5 foot 6 inches was around the same height as Connor Chaplin and used diagonal runs behind defenders and across the box towards the near post to head goals. It's all about time in the run, and when it's done right, it's very difficult for defenders to counter. So a few views there. If anyone wants to tweet any questions or views, get them into myself or Neil, PN_Jordan_Cross on Twitter, and Neil, PN_Neil_Allen. So Connor Chaplin there, the readers at portsmouth.co.uk. I mean, that was an excellent goal. There wasn't a lot of chances there, 3 shots in goal, kind of sticks it away.
It was the rare moment of quality in the whole game. Not only him, but the build-up as well, with Burgess past the halfway line and putting that ball in, wasn't it? It was a long ball into the box.
Not a lump forward.
No, what did he call it?
I said you were picking him out. It wasn't just a lump forward. He said it was a bit more cultured than
it was a measured pass, wasn't it? A measured long pass. And it was perfect, wasn't it? Because he got in between the defenders, and what a header. Yeah. 2 moments of absolute quality in a mundane, dire game, if anything, wasn't it? Yeah. And that was the difference. Simple as that. It was interesting. We heard their manager Sean Derry's comments, didn't we, after the game, where claimed that Cambridge were on the front foot and all sorts. Really? Well, they didn't even threaten Pompey. No. They didn't look like scoring. No. And you think they are on the front foot when they're playing against 10 men. No. But it was comfortable in the end through Pompey's defending, and they got that win through that moment of class. Yeah,
and 7 starts on the bounce for Connor now, a settled formula up front. Can you concur with Paul Cook going for that?
Yeah, I think is it 5 goals in 9 games as well. So he's continuing scoring, isn't he? And he's not last in the games for various reasons. Obviously, he's brought off on Saturday because Cook had to change the system around.
Would you say, I mean, ex-gaffer there saying he's fit enough to start games, complete 90 minutes down? That's a bit of a talker, that one, isn't it?
Well, he's barely completed 90 minutes. That's down mainly to the manager, isn't it? But Saturday, it was interesting bringing on Noah Hunt, who's been out injured for a while, and he gave a lot in the up front. He really made a good impact up front there. Yeah. And again, you encourage you to think that's somebody quality you can bring off the bench for Connor Chaplin. Yeah,
a couple of other talking points. Red card for Amin Langanzi, and there was a shout for a penalty in the first half for Cambridge. What
it was a red card all day long, wasn't it? It was just
2 or 3 red cards was how Paul.
Yeah, you can see it real time. He just jumped in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing malicious. It was just a moment.
Does that show though how things have changed in football? Because he did win the ball, but dived in 2-footed, high off the ground. In this day and age,
that was it. They can have no complaints. He's at 3 games now, so that opens the door back for Danny Rose and Ben Close, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But thanks for your conversation there, Neil.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. That's it from Pompey Talk in partnership with the very nice guys at Giant Leap. I've been your host, Jordan Cross. We'll see you again next time.